everybody. Matt Medley here with the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia podcast that nobody asked for. We will go through our favorite moments, quotes. We got a wackiness scale going on. And to help me with season 9, I know her, you know her, we all love her, Betsy Hayes. Betsy, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Matt. How are you?
Great. And this is a good season. This is a very fun season of Sunny. We are at episode number 2. Let's take a look at your background here. It is Mac and Charlie keeping those schools safe.
Oh yeah,
but doing the complete opposite.
In their Canadian tuxedos.
The fucking denim. So we'll get to it all here on the episode. So let's kick it off here. So a very unusual beginning here. We usually start at the gang or start at the bar. We start with a news program that has Frank on it, talking about guns, getting people riled up about guns. He has this fake story about him getting assaulted.
Can we just start at the very top? Because Frank, what is he eating?
He's eating a sandwich. Okay, yes. He's got like a big hoagie Italian sandwich or whatever.
It's like she literally introduces him, and like one of the first, he doesn't even say like 5 words before he's eating the goddamn sandwich.
Well, he's like, there's nothing to eat around here.
You couldn't have waited 5 minutes till the broadcast was over? No, he had to bring it into this. So rude.
Frank is he needs things right away, and he doesn't wait for them. You know,
he's like a troll. Dumpster troll or something.
Who eats a sandwich on a news program? It's it's out of the ordinary. So we go back to the gang, and the gang is completely split on the gun issue, right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Get guns out on the streets or take them off the streets. Dee and Dennis split off. Charlie and Max split off of the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Gun Fever Part 1 from season 1?
I went and watched it, before when we were supposed to do it. And now I'm remembering. They bought a gun because they got robbed.
Yes, this is season 1. This is before Danny DeVito even comes into the board. But yes, season 1, they get a gun. They get all excited about it. Everybody's like stoked on the gun. Charlie gets shot in the head by Dennis. Right. It's chaos. It's chaos. Yes. So this is season 9, and we're starting to get some meta episodes. We got a big meta episode coming up in like 3 more. But this one is also kind of meta because it's Gun Fever 2. They already did this, kind of. But now they have maybe a new spin on it. So Mac and Charlie, they go to this school. Dave Foley's there.
Oh, the principal, right? The
principal, kids in the hall, news radio. They go to see him. They want to protect the school through guns. I'm not even 100% sure what their end game is here, because they want to get guns off the streets.
Yeah.
And
so when they're split, Charlie and Mac they want guns? They don't want guns? They
don't want guns on the street. But Dennis and Dee are trying to prove that it's easy to buy a gun. They shouldn't be on the streets. Or maybe, whatever. The point is, let's talk about the samurai sword.
It comes out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere.
Because we're talking about guns.
We're talking about guns.
And safety.
Max wants to Max,
this is my favorite scene of the episode, because they're having this dumb fucking fight about a samurai coming and being able to basically take out a gunman. And Charlie's point is bang, 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 bang.
Right.
And then he's like, well, if I went zigzag, and he's like, bang, 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 bang.
Well, first he goes, well, have you seen Indiana Jones, dude? Like, I got the gun. And Mac's like, like offended.
Well, like I couldn't. Yeah, what? Like, yes, that's the point. Is that he's saying you've never seen Indiana Jones, you moron.
Yeah, I'm just going to shoot you dead. He also eventually injures himself due to the samurai sword.
Did he get a full puncture? Because he said it grazed him, but it looked like a
Looks bad.
gunshot. It looked like he got hit.
Well, I think after seeing it again, yeah, like I guess if it's really sharp, like let's say that blade is sharp, you could like if it grazes and it slices you like on the sharp end, I don't think it was the pokey end. Or maybe it was the pokey end that like he missed it, but he does say he grazed it. So Mac's also a liar. So
I'm just saying that the wound didn't. When he pulled up his shirt, I was like, "When did he get shot?"
Well,
but he's like, "It grazed me." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I think the wound would be more of a slanty situation.
Well, let's assume Mac is lying and that he missed the hole and he actually punctured it into his.
Oh,
because that did look bad. I mean,
with the pointy end.
With the pointy end. Dennis and Dee go on this other adventure where they're trying to get a gun, right?
There's some good moments in this episode with them. Dee again, Caitlin Olsen coming through with the best lines, where they go to try and buy the gun.
Yeah.
And they get denied.
They go to Gunther's. They're like, oh, 1,500, give me my killing machine. Like, they're so sarcastic. They're coming in hot.
So hot.
They're like, yes, give me the killing machine, sir. Like, they're taunting Gunther during this whole thing. He comes back. He says, you're done. You can't have one. You've been in a mental institution. And she goes, well, it was against my will. And they're like, well, yeah. Dennis is like, yeah, even worse.
That's the only time it counts.
Right. And she's like, I burned that bitch. Like, yeah, great Dee flying off the hook moment in this one.
When she said, I put down, I'm Gunther. I've never lit anybody on fire before.
So they're being a bitch to Gunther. Gunther's finally like, get the hell out of here. I mean, even when Dee was holding the gun and she keeps like pointing it at Gunther.
Yeah. They're just so.
That was a great scene.
They're so rude.
Frank's back on TV.
Oh my God.
With Uncle Jack.
Uncle Jack is. I'm putting it in early that he wins the episode.
What? I thought you hated Uncle Jack.
The man with the small hands and the child pornography thing, that bit is so... Maybe I didn't like it the first time I saw it, but this time it slayed me because I forgot that it was in there. And small hands on camera, like that's what he's worried about. And then he keeps... Oh, there's nobody can tell me what's not art. You have children, right. Bring them. Oh my God, get out of here.
Uncle Jack gets a couple good digs in, and he's showing the photo of the kid, and Frank's just like, get that out of here. Get that out of here.
It's tasteful. You can't even see.
It's art. You can't even see anything. So the guy who is interviewing them in that scene is a family friend. His name's Carl. He lives in LA, lives in Burbank. He went to college with my parents.
Oh, a family friend of yours.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, not in the sunny world. Sorry, I should have specified.
Like, wait.
In real life, I know that guy. And he was in the scene with Jack. I should get him on the program.
You should
interview him about the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned what's the other Uncle Jack dig that he gets in at the end? You just mentioned it.
Oh, when they're talking about the parade, and he's like, "Bring your kids."
Yes, yeah. He's like, "You got kids?" But to the radio host. Oh boy. Oh, the photos, Frank and Uncle Jack. I mean, just them together too is just such an odd couple. It's great. So we go back to Dee and Dennis. They go to another gun show, one to a private sellers that can charge whatever they want, which makes them hot again.
And then they prove the point that every gunman has, which is the only thing to fight against a bad guy with a gun as a good guy with a gun, because
Right.
Dennis is a madman.
A
And-
maniac with a gun. That's what he literally is like, I'm a maniac with a gun, everybody.
And they're all like, okay.
And Dee, I should have wrote it down, but Dee does say like, I will burn you to the ground like I burned that bitch or something.
No, she says like the last bitch that crossed me.
Yes. Like I'll burn you like the last
Last
bitch
bitch
that
that
crossed
crossed
me.
me. Oh my God.
So yeah, I had a couple things. We already talked about the samurai sword scene, and the guys are just fucking around outside that school.
Well, when we go back for that to them, the principal. No, okay, they steal that kid's phone.
They take the phones, they're confiscating phones. Charlie, I think in the shot behind you, literally, they're staring down the kid.
Yeah, they're let me profile this kid real quick. That's what he said.
I'm gonna profile this kid real quick. He's walking alone. He's wearing all black.
I bet he's playing one of those games where you kill zombies or whatever. And then they're like, yeah, that's what's ruining the youth. And they're like, well, I like violent video games.
Right. I like violent movies. They're the best.
They're the
I don't
best
wanna
kind of
kill anybody.
movies.
I just have a little tiny moment at the very end. Dave Foley comes out. He tells them to leave, like, get out of here. And they're kind of just lingering outside. And Dave Foley gives them one of these. At the end, he's like,
I thought that how casual for somebody who has a samurai sword and a gun. Charlie literally is like waving the gun in front of the guy, and
you'd call the cops.
yes, that would be a much bigger deal. Especially they're like, we're not on property. You have to be, however far away. But
Right.
like, Jesus, it's more of an And he's just like, come on, guys, that's not cool.
He's not a good principal.
No, he's terrible.
I think we learned that as well. For some crazy reason, Charlie and Mac bring all the kids back to the bar.
Oh my God.
So they could train one of them to infiltrate and whatever.
I mean, in the wacky scale or whatever, what did you say it was? The
Wackiness scale?
The wackiness scale? This one's, it's definitely up there.
That part gets a little wacky. So they bring everybody in. The kids keep asking for beers.
I love this kid. Whoever they got to be.
Carlos.
Carlos.
You hate child actors.
Typically, yeah, but he was really good. I thought
funny.
he was really good, really committed, and, was that character who was just giving them so much sass.
Don't count beers, Carlo. Not cool.
Not cool.
And I've had 6.
Don't count beer. And I've had 6. And I've had 7.
So you're not even getting it right, Carlos. So they give the kids the weapons to fight. I mean,
they were like, you need to be able to turn any item in school into a weapon, which is just the opposite of what you should be teaching children.
It really does not make any sense. They figure that it'll be fine. It's not. The kids go crazy on each other. Max mentions like there's apparently scores to be settled. There was already stuff bubbling up with the class, so
it's so funny.
They just lit the powder keg. So yeah, Matt cuts himself. I have that looks just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Dennis and Dee are like, we're gonna go to our pal that we bought crack from, if you remember that.
No, not really.
In earlier episodes, they buy crack, and they buy it from this specific guy.
This guy who lives under the bridge.
Under the bridge, they give him $1,500, and he saunters off with their money and gun.
He's sauntering away. Well, go get it. Wait, he's got a gun.
You just want me to pop the trunk and put it in the trunk? I mean, yeah.
I love the line that I love. Dennis is like, I'm sure you understand why I can't roll the window down. I'm sure you, stranger man who I'm clearly profiling and judging, you understand.
Yes. Oh my God. So we figure out it's a big Frank ruse. He invested in Gunther's guns. Now he's got a new ruse with the water, etc., etc. Blah, blah. And the end kind of tails off, to be honest.
Yeah. Why do I just feel like that's so American.
Oh yeah, totally. Get people riled up, make some money. I mean, it's perfect.
Oh, capitalism.
Especially, yeah, it's very prescient point, especially with today, because I just read that Trump is like, take these pills, it'll help you. And it's like flying off the shelf.
Oh my God, it is?
Frank is our president.
No, goblin monster. Oh.
So let's get to the awards here. Yeah, when the gang breaks off like this, it's always tough to pick a winner. Frank's definitely out. He's just not he only has the sandwich stuff. But you want Uncle Jack, which is an interesting one because he comes in hot and lands all of his lines.
Yeah, I mean, pretty flawless performance.
And everybody else is working on, like, yeah, Dennis and Dee are together. Charlie and Mac are together.
Yeah, they each kind of have like one shining moment, but Uncle Jack has like three.
With 3 scenes, basically. So he goes like 3 for 3. He's
3 for 3. He's 1,000%.
All right, you convinced me. It is Uncle Jack wins the episode.
Hell yeah.
Line. What were your lines? Don't count beers, Carlos. That's not cool.
That whole bit I loved, and then Dee's line, "Oh, I'm Gunther. I've never lit anybody on fire before." That one I love.
Actually, I think you said it before, because even between the two of us right now, it got a big pop. The second gun shop that they go to, and she threatens that guy.
Oh, like the last bitch that crossed me.
It's gotta be that one. I'll burn you like the last bitch you crossed me.
Yeah, because she says it to a whole room of gun enthusiasts, not just one person. She wants to burn everyone.
That is, that's great. So we'll give it to that. So D gets the line. Wackiness scale. I mean, I guess we just said, like, the gun fever, what Frank is doing is like actually really grounded in what is like happening today. I guess the only wacky part is the children part and them hanging around a school.
Basically Mac, because Charlie is just going along with whatever Mac. That's kind of how it goes. He's just following. So Mac is the wacky conductor.
So, I mean, I'd still keep it around a 3.
Yeah.
Out of 5. I wouldn't put it too high, but all right. Well, that is that. We cranked through 2 episodes. How you feeling so far, Betsy? Anything to say about the episode before we sign off?
I'm feeling good. I think that as far as, because this was such a topical episode, I think it kind of hinders the show a little bit, because it's like too real, and then too grounded almost.
Well, it is and it isn't, because sometimes we go through these moments where this isn't a debate, and then it comes back, and like, it will always be a debate in our country as long as we fucking let everything go. So it kind of has aged well, I think.
Yeah, well, I just mean in terms of letting their characters, like, because Dee and Dennis, I feel, kind of were tied down. Like, they couldn't really explode and be as crazy and just themselves as they wanted to be, because we had to keep tying everything back to this very serious
gun issue
going on.
Yeah, it's in the books. We're moving on. Next episode, the gang desperately tries to win an award. One of my favorites. It's weird. It's an interesting one. So
anytime they try, it's just bad.
It's bad for other people usually, because they're the ones who get shit on.
Right.
The game comes out with very little consequence. Anything before we sign off, Betsy?
No, I'm enjoying myself. That's
excellent,
all I want to say.
Excellent. Well, we'll catch you on the next one, gang.
Bye.